Hello, everyone. Welcome to our reading today. We are using Doreen Virtue's Magical Unicorn Oracle cards. So let's take a look at your reading. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Let me know in the comments where you're from. I love finding out where all of my listeners are from. It is always great to see what brings you to the readings and how you find them and why you enjoy them. So I love the comments. I love having ha, that's my favorite part, I think, is the comments because it's a rewarding process. It helps me to know that my time is valuable and that it matters. And it's just great to know how things help for others. I love to help people, and um, this is a way for me to spiritually help people in the physical as well. And so I love it. So let's take a look at our reading. So we have a nice spread here. Our first card is Best Friend. True friends stick together no matter what. Okay, so it doesn't matter what's going on, the situation. A true friend is someone who's always going to be there for you, even if they have to separate for a while, right? Like, say for example, you got your best friends, but you're on two different paths, and the universe, God, source asks you to let this person go for an amount of time. Even if you have to let them go, you're still with them spiritually, with the in the heart space, Um, you can still support them and be with them and help them in prayer and things like that. Or if you're long distance away from each other, I know some people, their best friend left and went to a whole other country where they cannot get to. And so you can still be with them in the mind, in the heart, spiritually connected, energetically connected. You can also reach out on like platforms like Zoom, Facebook, and try to keep that connection as well. Happy surprise! Something very good is about to happen. So stay connected to source. Unicorns are a lot about magic and a lot about mystical things and high frequency. Unicorns are really high frequency animals, and a lot of people think that they never existed. They think that they were just made up. A lot of people think that they were fantasy creatures, and other people believe that they still exist on a higher realm. The story that I was told, which I feel in my heart is true, is that there were many creatures, such as dragons, that were taken from this realm because they were being mistreated. So it's not that the creator no longer they're no longer in existence, but it was as if they deserved better, and they were taken and they were put on like another realm or taken to another place. And the reason why I feel that way is because in meditations or in dreams, I have seen creatures, like unicorns and dragons and things where they say that they don't exist anymore, or that they were fantasy. I've seen them and they were so real. It was like you could just reach out and touch them. So I really think that we don't understand a lot of our spiritual levels, and we're just learning to really unlock them again and connect to them in ways that we have always been able to. So this card is reminding you that happy surprises are coming, right? You stay positive, stay connected, and allow yourself to believe. Don't allow people to discourage you, because people sometimes have a tendency to discourage what they themselves do not believe in or have never encountered. So Just because they haven't experienced it, they assume it's not real, but that's only because that's where they draw their line. So don't let somebody else draw a line for you. Okay? Stay positive, stay um, dedicated to your passions and your truths within you, and know that whatever is going to happen is something that you have been working hard for, right? So for some of you it might be the news that you're getting promoted, or it might be the ability to be able to retire early. Maybe somebody is selling a house that you really wanted near the beach or something, and you finally have the opportunity to move there because you can afford it, because the person is willing to drop their price because they don't really need the money, and it matches your dreams, right? Some people do that for people. They will drop the price of of whatever they're selling if they know that it helps someone else reach their goals as well. So, there are really nice people out there, and the universe is always conspiring to help us with things if we are patient enough. Creative. Draw, paint, think, and act in creative ways. Yeah, the more creative you are, the more creative the universe is. It is like a partnership with the universe. The universe is learning from you, and you are learning from the universe. It's a give and take, a balanced situation. If you trust who you are and you continue to grow that inner person, right, that inner light, then you are showing the universe that you're ready to embrace your true abilities, your true self. We live in a world where there's constant fear, or they constantly want you to chase after somebody else's dream. Look at that car, look at that house, look at that person's outfit. I want. So you're constantly chasing outside of you. But this card here is saying, when you go inside of you, when you chase your true abilities, when you open up your box of gifts, when you open up your treasures, every one of us every one of us has a treasure chest inside of us. That's how we need to look at our heart and our abilities, right? And when we open that treasure chest, there's going to be so many things in there. Some people might gravitate towards one item, while somebody else might gravitate towards another, right? And that's what makes us unique. That's what makes our true gifts expand, right? So when you go inward, then you grow so that you can bring that energy outward. And then as you bring that energy outward, you then are a contribute to the universe, right? So think of it as an artist, for example, a person who likes to draw. They draw, they get the idea to add color, they create paint. The person who likes to paint keeps painting, and then they create a different way of painting to make the paint look like it's coming off the screen. Do you see how, like, there's like this step? So each person has a valuable, unique gift to give back to the universe, to help somebody else to unlock a deeper level of their abilities as well, right? So when you help yourself, you help others. And that's what this is about. It is about understanding the importance of not chasing after other people, but becoming who you are by observing other people and by seeing what you can do with what you observe, right? That's called going inward and being creative. One step at a time. Lots of little steps make big dreams come true. So there's the Stonehenge. I would love to go there. If you've ever been there, let me know in the comments. I've never been there, but I would love to go there. Okay, so what this is saying is Rome was not built in a day, right? That's that old saying. It takes time to get where you're going. If you look at the end result and you're like, oh my goodness, that's going to be way too hard. I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to make that happen. Then you're never going to take that first step. But if you take a step today, this morning, and then you take another one towards evening. You've taken 2 steps in one day. That's 2 less that journey required, right? So what this is saying is pace yourself, show up daily, show up to what it is that you can do in the moment. Stay focused on the moment and let the universe unfold the future. Because what you think is going to be so hard, the universe could be moving around in the future, making things to where it's nowhere near as hard as what you thought it was going to be. Right? You may have thought, "Oh, that would never happen to me. I'll never get there. I'll never be that." And when you say those words, then you're telling the universe to stop. You're telling the universe that, no, I changed my mind. I don't want that. Right. And you're also telling yourself that dreams can't come true or you're not good enough. So words are power, and power within you is what motivates you to reach those goals. So one step at a time helps to remind you that, look, you did it. You did today. You didn't worry about tomorrow, but you showed up today. You did the step you needed to do today. And as you keep showing up, doing each step each day, you're going to turn around and you're going to be shocked at how far you even came because you're not even going to be paying attention to where you were and where you're going. You're just focused on what do I got to do today? How do I have to show up today for me, for my situation, right? And when you do that, that is what makes everything else unfold. And that's what gets the wheel going, right? When we talk about like tarot, for example, and the wheel, that's the whole energy around it. You got to make something happen in the now to make it manifest in the future. And manifestation isn't magic. It is working with the universe each and every day to become who you are meant to be. And sometimes who we become is what the universe has assigned to us without us even realizing it, right? So, for example, you might be a barista. Maybe you have a job making coffee and that's something that you love to do and you just love making all those little designs and you're just really good at it and it just kind of like comes to you pretty naturally, right? And then all of a sudden somebody comes in and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're really good at this. I need a manager for my store. Would you mind being a manager at my store? I'll pay you more, blah, blah, blah." So you leave this store, you go to that store, and you end up making a lot more money, right? And then say, like, that person decides that they're going to open up another store and they're just going to give you that store, or you can buy that store for a really cheap amount and you already have your business, right? You can start training people, do whatever, right? So that's how the universe can use your situation in the now to unfold you for the future without you even realizing it. You could just be walking your daily path and things can be unfolding in ways that you've never even imagined. Okay, that's what this is saying. This is saying don't jump ahead and think of what the future is going to be without allowing the universe to even be a part of it, right? The universe is not going to tell you what it's going to do. It's going to show you, right? So you got to have faith and you got to just focus and do each day as you're meant to and just trust in what is going to unplay, right? Because a lot of times we change our destinies because of fear or doubt or belief. And when we do that, what we're actually doing is we're telling the universe that we're not ready. We're not ready for your help. We're not ready for your intervention, right? And so the universe will say, "Okay, that's okay, that's fine." Right? It's not going to push us to do anything against our will. But if you don't take one step at a time, then you never truly know where you're supposed to go because you're constantly delaying that path. So, water. Drink more water and eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, so one thing about water is emotion. Water holds emotion, right? So, drinking more water means you're clarifying your body. When you drink water, or when you eat food that is high in water, you are flushing out things in your body. So, one of the things you would like to do with this is like hold the water to your heart space and give gratitude and thanks. That clears the water and it charges the water for your body, right? If you go and research water, water holds memory. If you talk to water in a bad way, it can hold that frequency in that especially like whenever it's frozen. Like there's a scientist that froze water and he talked to it really mean and then he talked to it really nice. And the ones that he talked to, the water that he talked to really nice and then froze it, it looked like beautiful geometry shapes and beautiful snowflakes and things like that. And the one that he had talked to very, very mean and froze, it was all distorted. So that was a proof right there that water, which makes sense because the whole world is made up of water. Even your air that you breathe has moisture in it, and that is water, right? So the way you talk to yourself, the way you talk to others, the way you plenish yourself, that makes a difference. And staying hydrated and not allowing yourself to be dehydrated is what keeps your frequency high and allows your body to move the energy through your body. So like some frequencies might make you feel really really sick. But if you're drinking water and you're eating foods that are healthy for you, those frequencies can go through your body in an easier healthy way. So frequencies have a lot to do with the water element. So this could be the fact that you're trying to take in higher energy. Maybe the universe, it wants to work with you and it requires you to have a little bit of higher energy. So the water is a good way of doing that. Now you don't want to like drink and drink and drink and drink and drink to the point where you're like running to the restroom and nonstop, because that just means that your body can't hold it and it's trying to release it. You want to drink when you're thirsty. So when you become thirsty, instead of reaching for a soda with all the sugar and things like that, reach for some water is basically what this card is saying, right? It doesn't There is such a thing as drinking too much water. So you don't want to like overplenish yourself, and because that also can be strenuous on your stomach, your kidneys and things like that. So you want to make sure you have a balance going through your body, right? So the old sayings is drink when you're thirsty. Your body knows when you're thirsty. So drink when you're thirsty. When you feel thirsty, that's when you want to take a drink. And then this card is just saying that the best thing to drink would be water because it'll help you with these detoxing and frequencies and things like that that's changing right now. Okay, so that's what this one is saying. So let's take a look at our telepathy cards. I'm going to add some telepathy cards in here. Um, I don't know where that box went. Oh, there it is. Here is our telepathy. I don't know if you've ever seen this deck, but a lot of people ask me, how do you use these cards? Well, telepathy cards are pretty easy. You just go based off of the download that you're feeling from the card and the image of the card, right? The main thing is trust your own instincts and your own message that you instantly get, and trust the message that comes in instantly, because some of the people that message me about doing readings on themselves and receiving messages and things, they have a tendency of getting the message right away instantly, and then they doubt that message. Oh, well, I don't know if that's right, or I don't know if that's. So pay attention to what comes in instantly, because that's almost always the correct answer, and don't doubt what you're receiving. Okay. And don't ask somebody else what they got and then feel like yours is wrong, because everybody's going to have different answers because everybody is receiving messages differently. Okay. So we have true love. True love appears when you least expect it. So you are working with love. This energy has to do with love, which would make sense for the water and the raising of the frequency. That would make sense because a true love energy is a high open heart energy. So that would explain why you're being asked to take one step at a time, to be creative, to work with water. Like that would make a lot of sense. honor, treat the person you love with respect, and you'll find your relationship becomes stronger. Okay, so everybody, when it comes to honor, this is a card that has to do with understanding how everything works together, right? So, like in this card, there's nature, there's roots, right? When we honor nature, nature gives back to us beautiful things, right? And it provides for us. When we don't honor nature and we deforestate the 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 forest and things, it puts a ripple effect into the world. And that's what this card is saying. Like when you honor yourself, you set standards for how you will allow people to treat you. And when you honor others, you're showing them that you value them, right? So that's why the honor card is here. It's so important to 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 see people the way that you would want them to see you and to honor them in a way that is loving and supportive, but not allowing them to mistreat you either. Like you don't want to open the door to mistreatment of yourself. You can't keep honoring somebody and then allowing that person to dishonor you. You have to make sure that you're honoring others, but that you're also honoring yourself and you're expecting that same treatment in return. Barrier. Find ways around obstacles to find happiness. Yes, you are able to create happiness anywhere you go with any situation, but you have to determine that that's the path that you're going to choose. If you're going to choose happiness, then you're going to have to say no to certain things because certain people may not want to be happy. And I hate to say that, but some people they just are they want to be happy, but they don't want to be happy. You know what I mean? And if you want to be happy, you might have to set up barriers. You might have to say enough is enough. I'm done with this. And you're going to have to, whether you want to or not, you're going to have to break away from the situations that are not helping you to take that next step, right? There you're going to have to be creative and figure out ways to continue with your happiness. And unfortunately, we don't like to have barriers with like best friends and true loves and stuff because that doesn't allow the relationship to grow deeper. But if you're in a situation where the relationship is not healthy, then you have to put up barriers and you have to find ways around the obstacles to to find the happiness that you truly seek. And if that person truly wants to be in your life, they will find ways around the barriers, right? The universe will work with you on working out that situation. So I hope this has helped you. And thank you so much for joining us. Again, that is the Magical Unicorns Oracle deck. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.